Hey guys, it's Josh here. This is part 2 of my Q&A video. If you haven't seen part 1, there is a link in the description. Go ahead, check it out. In this video, I'm going to finish answering all the questions people submitted to my Q&A through my giveaways. I hope you enjoy the video, and thanks again for everyone who entered their questions. All right, here's part 2. Who do you think was the best villain in the entire series and why? I'm a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan, so if you talk about like overarching main villain, for me it was Lord Zed. He scared the hell out of me as a kid. The episode where he just teleports, you know, in their command center with the throne, I was like, oh no, what is this? Well, what are they gonna do? If you're asking like monster, one that was always surprised me as a kid was Frankenstein. I've probably talked about this before in a video, but that guy was crazy. He took on the Dragon Zord and the Megazord at once, and they never landed a shot on him until right at the end. They get one lucky stab with the Power Sword, and he goes down. And I'm just like, you better be glad you got that stab, because man, he was coming at y'all. Let's see. What is your favorite Power Rangers theme song? Well, that was a Sarah Colgan. You know, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You can't beat that. It's just absolutely crazy. You know, I've used it in a bunch of videos. I love it. You know, they've got a power force that you've never seen before. I've sung it to my children. It used to get my daughter, when she was young, it used to get her all amped up, and my son just goes nuts whenever I do it. So, yeah, that's my favorite, 100%. Who has been your, Chris Sabetta, who has been your favorite Ranger actor or actress to meet? So far, I've met Jason David Frank. I've met Karen Ashley. I've met David Fielding, and that's it. That's the only Power Ranger actors and actresses I've met. I did send something off to a friend to get signed by Austin St. John, and I did send something off to a family member to get signed by David Yost. So I do have signed stuff from them. I hope to meet David Yost and Amy Jo Johnson at Pensacon, and I will meet, as long as the event's still going on due to COVID, Walter Manuel Jones at Louisiana Comic-Con at the end of this week. That's going to be super duper awesome. Who is my favorite? It has to be Jason David Frank. It kind of like altered, you know, what I was doing at the time. You know, at the time, if you look back, I was gung-ho Pokemon, and I still love Pokemon, don't get me wrong. Collecting the pins, the coins, the dice, the sleeves, you know, the weird ancillary items that a lot of people overlook, Pogs, Tassos, still love it. But before that day made such a big change in my life, it's hard to, you know, say anything else. You know, I got a few things signed that day. He was nice enough to sign some extra cards for me. That started me on a very big sign collection. Then Pensacon rolled up that year. I got passes. I was able to meet Karen Ashley. I was hoping to meet Johnny Young Bosch there, but he had to cancel. So, you know, what can you do? Yeah, so I would have to go Jason David Frank. I mean, Karen Ashley comes in a close second. David Fielding was very awesome. I mean, I don't think there's I don't see myself having a negative experience meeting any of the Rangers. You know, even if they just want to say hi and move on, you know, I can understand that. You know, they don't know me personally. So, all right. What is the Holy Grail item you would love to add to your collection? The Holy Grail item I would love to add to my collection that I'm currently seeking is the Power Rangers' very first appearance in comic books. It's a mini comic book that was released in a pack of Hanes underwear. Very hard to find in good condition. Very hard to find, period. I would love to find a copy just to have, collect signatures on, you know, raw copy. I've seen one graded one that was like insane price, but, you know, that's main thing I'm looking for. Pokemon, let's see. 2020 staff pin. The event was canceled, I'm pretty sure. But the staff pin exists. I've seen pictures of it, and I want one to complete my collection. It nags me at my very soul that I don't have one. I've reached out to tournament, you know, like judges. I've reached out to officials, like people in the Pokemon tournament scene, and I'm trying my hardest to be put in touch with someone who has one and then they just be able to charge me like literally whatever, and I'll come up with it, and then we'll both be happy. But yeah, that's the 2 Grail items that I have been currently searching for like crazy. All right, Andrew Rogers. Okay, here's my question. Does anyone know when the promotion gear for those who made donation, when that stuff is going to get sent out? He was posting this in reference to Legend of the White Dragon, because it was on a video where I was giving away Legend of the White Dragon card. I don't know. I thought I've seen people show off their posters and say that they got it. I know no one's probably got their helmets yet, man. That's going to take a while. It's coming, I guess. You got me. I'm not even on the Kickstarter, so I got nothing for you, bro. Amber McIntosh, thanks for hosting the giveaway. You're welcome. How do you find room for or decide where to display new items? I don't display many items. Most things are just like set up on a shelf like this to the side. A lot of stuff is put in Rubbermaid bins. We're trying to work on display. It's just hard, you know. I don't like dust getting on my things, so if they're not in like a plastic case, which these Lightning Collection figures are, I don't like having to dust this helmet off. It really bothers me, and I don't want to mess the signature up, so I already have a glass case that can fit the Legacy helmet coming in. I bought a helmet display case for a football helmet. It doesn't fit the Legacy Collection. It's a Lightning Collection, so I got my red one next to it. You can't see it, but my suggestion for storing items is, as long as it's a room that you don't care, like, you know, that it looks too cluttered, store vertically is what I like to do. I like to stack things safely, obviously. I like to make sure a lot of things are airtight, you know, in Rubbermaid bins, or, you know, to where if like water or anything happens, you've got a little bit of peace of mind in that aspect. But yeah, I got 2 kids. I can't display too many things, especially in common areas of the house. Otherwise, they'll get snatched up. RJ Diaz, what part of the collection process do you enjoy the most? What I'm referring to is, do you enjoy the hunt, uncovering items you had no idea of its existence, getting an item on your wish list, or perhaps the display aspect? Not a big displayer, as I just said. What do I enjoy most? The hunt. The hunt is a hobby, I will say that. I used to play a lot of video games. I don't play many video games anymore. I used to consume a lot of media, TV in my spare time. I don't do that anymore. For the most part, if I have free time, I'm doing something to further my hobby. You know, listing up sales, taking pictures of sales, making videos, doing research, looking for new items. So that has definitely filled a hole of time for me. So I definitely do enjoy that. Otherwise, I wouldn't continue to keep doing that. I love finding items that I never knew existed. Like, as soon as I find a new coin or a new dice release for Pokemon, I'm just like, that's awesome. I can't wait to get that. Getting items on your wish list. I mean, who doesn't like the bump of dopamine you get in your head, or serotonin, whatever you call it, whenever you finally purchase something that you want. So of course I like that. But if I had to say what I like the most is having the things. I mean, as weird as it is, once I got an item and I know it's safe and I know I've secured it, it's here, it's put up, it's packed away, it'll be there when I want it again, or if I want to sell it, or if I want to show it off or whatnot. That type of peace of mind does a lot for me. So I guess I really like the completionists completing stuff. What is your most interesting experience regarding Pokemon, and/or what is your favorite dish to eat? Interesting experience regarding Pokemon. Probably just, you know, most interesting was playing Pokemon League back in the day when I was a young kid. We have this hobby shop nearby called Jack's. It's where I cut my teeth playing Pokemon. It's where I learned how to play Magic the Gathering. It got to the point where I spent so much time there where my parents would drop me off on their way to work on the weekends, and I'd be there before the store opens, and they'd pick me up way after it closed. And probably, yeah, the competitive tournament scene, you know, because very interesting as a child. You know, you go in there and you get, unless you're, I don't know, unless you're fully prepared, if you go in there as just a novice beginner player, you know, you get railed, you get destroyed. It's one of the problems I have with my daughter asking to go to Pokemon League. Like, these people are not going to take pity on you for being a young child. They're going to take it as a free win, and they're going to destroy you because they're trying to win. And that type of competitiveness was really interesting to me. I'm not a competitive person by nature. I get very anxious when I'm competing against someone, which leads me to make mistakes. I'm a lot better in a casual setting, especially when it comes to card games. How many total pins do you have? We're talking about Pokemon pins. What's the most elusive pin that you're still hunting for are found? Probably most elusive pins have to be those staff pins, man. I had to do so much research to find those Pokemon staff pins. I had to talk to so many people, and once you get them, they don't want to give them to you. You know, a lot of these people, these are pieces of their personal history, and sometimes I don't even like making an offer, but if they want to hear my offer, I usually have to make them a really big offer in order to make that pin move. And so that's been very, very, very interesting. Let me see, how many total pins do you have? Oh my god, hundreds. If you're talking about, you know, regular lapel pins, we're talking possibly in the tens of thousands. I've got 6 complete boards, including the massive big boy right there, a drawer full of loose pins, a drawer full of sealed pins. My Pokemon pins are not display, sadly. They're too expensive for me, I feel, to display. Loose pins, I've got about, it's hard to judge. They're individually bagged, sealed, airtight, so they have cushioning to them, and then I put them in a larger freezer bag. I got like 8 freezer bags full of pins. Probably some duplicates, because it's really easy to get duplicates. I've got 2 Rubbermaid bins full of sealed pins. Yeah, a lot of pins, man. Let's see. Awesome pin. How long have you been collecting for? Pins. How long have I been collecting lapel pins? Since probably 2012. The year my daughter was born. The year my daughter was born, I all of a sudden found myself with a lot of time at home, and I needed to find something to fill that time. And that time I spent making a little extra money and getting collectibles that I wanted to add to my collection by selling on a site called Listia. And in that site called Listia, I started snagging interesting lapel pins, and that started me collecting pins. So, yeah, since 2012. Most expensive Pokemon pin. I don't like talking about how much I spend on individual items, because it either has a slew of people saying you overpaid or a slew of people saying you underpaid. I will say that the most expensive pin venture for me has been my staff pins. That goes without saying. Other than that, it's been, and I'll put a picture of it up, my championship vintage pins, the ones that are city, state, regional. As far as I know, I'm one of the only people with a complete set. I know a few heavy Pokemon pin collectors who don't have a complete set. That was a challenging thing to do. Yeah, so that's the, what's your favorite pin? Pokemon pin, my favorite pin. That's hard to say. Probably, and I'll put a picture of it, to my New York Pokemon pin. I think it's an opening pin. I'm not entirely sure. I love this pin because I found it for really cheap. I don't want to say how cheap I did. I found it for really cheap, and then I immediately saw people like selling them for triple digits. So that was really awesome to snag that pin. If we're talking about my favorite pin overall, it's probably this little Mohawk pin, Tommy Mohawk. He's a mascot for Mohawk Carpet. It was a pin that was given to my dad when he worked at a carpet store as a carpet salesman by the Mohawk, and he gave it to me, and it just reminds me of my dad. I mean, he's not passed away or anything. Don't like make this like some heartfelt story. I just love my dad, and you know, I look at that pin and I'm like, oh wow, I remember you. I have one board that has a lot of sentimental pins like that to me, like pins that I get on family trips. Like I got a Destin, Florida pin because we had a family reunion there one time. Sorry, I don't usually do this much talking during the day. Okay, we're getting to the end here. What is your favorite Pokemon card? If we want to go Wizards of the Coast, My favorite Pokemon card was Scyther. I loved how versatile it was. I loved how it could go in any deck because, you know, Slash was all colorless. I loved how having it in starting hand allowed you, you know, a rare chance to make a decision on what Pokemon you wanted. You know, you could drop him down and you could retreat him. I loved how having multiple Scythers on your thing, you can, you know, or even Pokemon with no retreat cost, you could, you know, get rid of poison or, yeah, I mean, just really cool card. The main deck that I had the most success with in my Pokemon tournament days, playing Pokemon League, was the Haymaker Beatdown deck, whatever you want to call it. Hitmonchan, Scyther, Electabuzz. Wreaked havoc with that deck as a kid. I'm going to talk about more modern cards post Wizards of the Coast. I really like the Eevee with Magic Ribbon. Really love that Eevee. I don't have it in front of me, but I actually played on Pokemon Online, you know, the online game, back when that was legal, and I loved that Eevee deck. It was like such an amazing toolbox deck, just only playing 4 Eevee. You could search your deck for 3 cards that you want, put them in your hand. You could set up a turn 2 Magic Ribbon. You could lock them out. I loved attacking their hand. I forgot what the card that allowed you to like look at their hand and discard 4 energy cards out of it. I loved using or no, that's not. It's, what did I say? It's Sylveon GX. What did I say? Sylveon GX. That's the one I'm talking about, guys. I may have even said it wrong. I don't know. It's getting I'm tired. I'm usually I don't have to talk at this point, but yeah, I loved that deck. Was really sad when it rotated out. It actually stopped me playing online because I did not want to find a different deck. How do you afford and budget for your collection? I already answered that question. Oh no, it's a different question. All right. How do I afford and budget for my collection? Like I said, any waking moment that I have, I am working on furthering my collection. I am looking up stuff. I'm talking to other collectors. I am searching eBay. Every day I search the same eBay terms and sorting by newest until I see stuff I saw the day before. So I am well aware of everything that's on eBay, Mercari, for the things that I'm looking for. So I hope to not miss, you know, that rare item that I'm looking for that I need to get, because when I do, it's just insane. I missed an Aisha figure for $20 one time. It just blew my mind, man. But yeah, if I don't have anything immediately to do, then I go to a survey site. I mean, literally, and fill out surveys to save up points for an eBay gift card. I use a site called Game Tame. If anyone's interested, I'll put a link in the description. And I'll fill out a survey to get points because I know that it will at least lead to something. You know what I'm saying? Lately, especially, you know, in the past 5 years or so, I am painfully aware of when I'm doing something that will lead me to no monetary increase. Like if I'm just sitting there watching a YouTube video, I'm like, what are you doing, Josh? This is getting you nowhere. And that's why I love Facebook, and I'll talk about this real quick. Facebook for selling. Selling on eBay and Mercari is such a passive way of selling. You know, you put the item up there and you wait for someone to see it who wants to buy it. And, you know, that sucks, you know. I mean, sure, you put stuff on eBay, Mercari, when it sells, it's awesome, but Facebook is a more active selling environment. If you, as a seller, have an item you want to sell, you can literally go out and find the buyer, and I think that's absolutely awesome. You have sports cards to sell, baseball cards to sell. I know nothing about baseball, but I have some baseball cards to sell. Join a baseball buy and sell group. Throw them up there. See what happens, you know. Just know your shipping rate so you don't get screwed on shipping. Know how much either you paid for it or how much you've invested in it. Try to hit a decent amount of profitability. Don't try to hit right at market value on most things because it's not going to sell. Why would they come to you if they could just go somewhere else? You got to offer something that some other people don't offer, either some sort of bonus item or a slight, you know, decrease in price is what I like to do. People get a lot hung up on getting the most profit out of an item, and you just have to find out what the profit for you is and go with that. Leave a little bit of meat on the bones. That way the next person, you know, has a reason to come to you. What was the first Pokemon game? Matthew Kraft, what was the first Pokemon game you ever played? And this is the last question. First Pokemon game I ever played, Pokemon Red. Yeah, guys, that's right. I am OG from the very beginning. I played Pokemon Red, played Pokemon Blue, played Pokemon Yellow, played Pokemon Trading Card Game, and then stopped playing Pokemon games entirely. I grew up out of them, started playing like, you know, outside hockey, sports, you know, couldn't be sitting in the, in front of a screen all day long. Then I went back and I think I played Pokemon Fire Red when they released it because I was like, oh, look, this is a release of the game I know. So I played that. Still to this day, I will pick up a DS that we have where we bought Pokemon Trading Card Game and I'll run through that. I don't play many of the new games. I did play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu with my daughter. We haven't finished it, but I'm, you know, there with her, helping her through it. That's been a lot of fun. I played Pokemon Go for a little bit. I mean, didn't we all? But I had to give up on that because at the time we were staying in actually a rental house that had better, you know, walking tracks. But where I live, there's hardly any sidewalks or any place to walk. So, yeah. So, all right, guys, that's the video. I know it was a long one. If you watched to the end, congratulations. Thanks again for everyone who entered and offered, you know, your questions. I was glad to answer them. I hope that you were able to get to know me a little better. Yeah. See you guys next time. Here's for another 100 videos on my YouTube channel. It's not the biggest channel, but I like it. I appreciate every view, every comment, every member. I don't advertise my channel. Every single one of y'all organically came here for some reason or another, either because you liked the video or you wanted to enter a giveaway or something. And I appreciate that, you know, it's not just a bunch of random bots or bot likes, you know. I hope it grows. You know, I don't make a penny off the channel. I really do it just so people can see the collectibles that I have. And really, the channel started out as a way for me to share my videos on a multitude of Facebook groups because there's a pain in Facebook uploading a video to multiple groups. You got to just sit there and wait for the video to be ready and blah, blah, blah. Whereas I can just paste a YouTube link and it's just done. So, yeah. All right, guys. Take it easy.